It is with profound thanks and appreciation to Almighty Allah that I address troops of the Gambia Armed Forces and personnel of the security services under the Ministry of Interior, as well as orders from the security agencies on the occasion of the distinguished VIP Day of Exercise, Kansala 2024. We have just witnessed a splendid display of professionalism by our gallant men and women in uniform, marking the end of this year's field training exercise, codenamed Exercise Kansala 2024, on the theme Operational Efficiency for Enhanced National Security. Therefore, let me seize this opportunity to heartily congratulate the Chief of Defense Staff, Lieutenant General Mamad Ocham, his service chiefs, general and senior officers, soldiers, and ratings of the Gambia Armed Forces for such an organization, as we also draw the curtain on the Chief of Defense Staff training calendar for 2024. Let me also commend General Cham and his planning team for the foresight in inviting the sister security services and agencies who took part in this joint exercise under an internal security and counterinsurgents settings. The exercise depicts to a large extent the contemporary security challenges of our times, which call for concerted and closer collaboration among all stakeholders in the security domain. Therefore, the inclusion of all the actors in the security landscape of this country is a necessary imperative and the right way forward if we want to continue to nurture and sustain our democracy. I must also stress that no single security force or service has the monopoly to deal with these emerging security threats and challenges confronting the world. On this note, I wish to encourage the Chief of Defense Staff and all service chiefs to work together to enhance inter-service cooperation and collaboration in order to adequately and effectively deal with security threats confronting our country. My government has invested a considerable amount of resources to enhance the administration and operation of the armed and security services since 2017. Government has so far trained a total of over 1,000 Gambian youth who are now serving in the military and other security services. In addition, opportunities have been created by my government through the granting of full scholarship to security personnel to pursue degree courses at the University of the Gambia and other defense and security training institutions abroad. I therefore wish to appreciate our strategic partnerships such as Turkey, the United States of America, the United Kingdom, Ghana, China, Nigeria, Senegal, the Kingdom of Morocco, Saudi Arabia, among others, for their continued support. Furthermore, my government has recently approved 30% salary increase in 2025 for all civil servants, which will undoubtedly include members of the armed and security services and agencies of this country. Additionally, the revised terms of condition of service, TACOs, for officers, soldiers, and rating of the Gambia Armed Forces have been approved and will come into force in January 2025. Ultimately, so many of you taking part in this historic exercise and your comrades will see a significant increase in your pay allowances in the new year. This will undoubtedly translate into a total unprecedented improvement in your living and working conditions. Let me emphasize that your welfare will always remain a priority of my government. My government will continue to support the reform and transformation of the armed forces, security services, and agencies through meaningful training. Ultimately, the aim is to ensure that serving one country becomes relatively more rewarding and worthwhile. I must admit that the professionalism, skills, and expertise showcased during the VIP Day of Exercise Council 2024 from its planning and eventual execution is indeed encouraging. This goes to show that our dreams and aspirations as a nation for a highly transformed and motivated military that is fully equipped to execute its constitutional mandate are within reach. I wish to encourage you to sustain the gains registered so far through meaningful and effective training and personal development. The need to adequately bridge the gap with the civilian population through strategic communication by the various services is indeed commendable. Today, Gambians have a lot of admiration for the essential role played by the Army and security through the use of effective and strategic communication tools. Let me therefore commend you all for rebranding images through community outreach programs and your excellent coordination with the media and the public. Significantly, the inclusion of several outreach programs such as free medical screening of local community and provision of basic services to communities as part of Kansala 2024 is indeed a commendable one. This is a societal activity which is dear to my heart and a praiseworthy gesture that will help you to win the hearts and the minds of the civilian population. This is an innovative means of projecting soft power, and I wish to encourage the Chief of Defense Staff to sustain this initiative even after the exercise. This will definitely bring you closer to the citizen that you have sworn to protect and safeguard at all times. Furthermore, I am equally impressed with the level of coordination that has gone into planning such an exercise involving several security organizations. I therefore enjoin all the service chiefs to work together to confront the emerging security threats affecting our sub-region, such as transnational crime, terrorism, piracy, and the smuggling of drugs. You must use your mandate as strength while complementing each other's weaknesses in order to increase operational efficiency and enhance national security. The role of the military in any thriving democracy like ours is to ensure that it provides a human security service which guarantees a peaceful and a secure environment. This posture assures not only the civilian authorities to whom the military is subordinate and accountable, but most importantly, the population of the peaceful and prosperous atmosphere for socio-economic development. Therefore, the government will continue to encourage its development partners, while at the same time will work inwards for innovative ways to support and equip our men and women in uniform. At this juncture, let me seize this opportunity to congratulate you all for such a turnout, and the professional manner in which the exercise was conducted. Let me reiterate that while Exercise Council 2024 does not target any specific country, individual organization, it should be made clear that the peace and security of the country must be safeguarded against any form of instability. Once again, I wish to assure you of my government's support in creating the enabling environment for security services to work together towards maintenance of the peace and security of the Gambia. Finally, I wish to thank the various communities from Sibanor, Kanilai, and other satellite villages for all their support, collaboration, and most importantly, their understanding during the conduct of Exercise Council 2024. The region of Fonyi is no stranger to armed and security services, as it is the only host most of the deployment and units, but a greater majority of the security personnel who are your own sons and daughters, who come from this region and the rural areas. Therefore, I wish to commend their courage, gallantry, patriotism for choosing to serve this country in colors. This is the highest sacrifice one can offer his country. Mr. Chief of Defense Staff, in the President's effort to make servicemen and women, and indeed Gambians, particularly those who are not privileged, to have the resources to build their own houses. The President of the Republic, Commander-in-Chief, have tasked our ministry to work on a sustainable housing, affordable housing program. And I can assure you, the President is committed to make sure that soldiers will no longer, or policemen or officers, or will no longer be retired and not have the opportunity of leaving the barracks because they have nowhere to stay. He has committed himself to give you all the support, inshallah. And also, I wish to say, I am very impressed with Kanilai. Kanilai have maintained a very good environment. The greenery all around here shows that the people of Kanilai have been environmentally very conscious. I thank the Alcalo, the resident of Kanilai, and the people of Kanilai for maintaining such a beautiful greenery in this very important town, in our village, in our history. And I also want to reiterate, we want to make sure we transform this village into a tourism destination. The Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture will no doubt use some of these facilities to be places to be visited that would earn a lot of money for the community and government. On that note, I also wish to thank the Commander of ECOMIC, who is ably represented here in our midst, and thank the ECOWAS Intervention Force and all the ECOMIC troops for their cooperation with our National Army and their support towards maintaining security in the Gambia. On that note, Mr. Chief of Defense Staff, I thank you once again for your special role and interest in making sure that our men in uniform are comfortable and be able to do their job effectively and more professionally. Thank you. So I therefore declare it closed and ended. Thank you very much.